Alright guys, hey, how you doing? So I got bad news. The turbo TSX took shit. Let me explain why. The kit I got was Abraham's, the guy from the other videos that was helping me turbo this thing. He pretty much gave me the wastegate, the manifold, and the blow-off valve and oil line, and a few components here and there. So this kit was an eBay kit, and what we didn't know is that the oil line from the eBay kit is not really reliable. All this gets hot and this line starts getting hard. It's really not a oil line. It's not a true oil line. It looks pretty much like those clear white water lines. It just has a steel jacket on it. So what happened is we were changing my wastegate. I was upgrading my wastegate to a Turbonetics wastegate, and as we were doing that, my tuner didn't have this gasket right here. So I went ahead and ordered one, and while we were at it, I decided to change it. So while we were here, for some reason, I guess we hit this line and it cracked exactly from here. We didn't notice. Once we were finished, we turned on the car. We noticed this starts smoking, and I popped the hood. Homeboy opens the hood, and he's like, "Dude, shut the car." I'm like, "So what happened?" Like, "You shouldn't oil everywhere." So I was like, "God damn." We were thinking that it was just a little bit of oil, that it was just a little gush or whatever. Come to find out, pretty much everything spilled. So we made a big ass mess at a shop. We had to run out to a local store here in the DFW to get this line, replace the line that goes from a sandwich plate to the turbo, and replace all the oil that this thing spilled. Before we did all that, we thought my boost controller was leaking, because my car is supposedly tuned on 10 pounds of boost, which when we were checking, it was only giving me I think we peaked it at 8 and then it dropped to like 6 or something like that. So that's one of the reasons that we changed the wastegate, because we were thinking the wastegate was bad, which it was. When we put this one on, we connected the wastegate directly to the turbo. The wastegate has a spring load of has a stock spring load of 9 psi, which in my mind it was fine. After all that, we did a run. It was only giving me 6 psi, but it was constant 6 psi. The next day, we decided to put that back on, put the boost controller back on, and turned it up. And I was thinking, the map sensor, it only gives me I could only do 10 psi stock with this map sensor, so I should be okay, right? My map sensor should stop it, should stop from boost creeping or whatever. So as I was going home, I decided to step on it. I noticed my gauge goes up to 10.56 or something like that. And since I saw it from the corner of my eye, I wanted to make sure that it was that. So I step on it again for, I want to say, 3 to 5 seconds, and then the car just backfires really loud and starts gurgling and sounding sort of like a Subi, and then kind of like jerking a little bit. So I decided to stop. Oh, and it was smoking everywhere. It was smoking all around here. My exhaust was smoking. It was hectic. So I'm thinking, man, I hope that oil line, didn't bust. Which right now I wish that oil line would have busted instead of my engine, my block. We were there for a good while trying to diagnose what was wrong. We came to the conclusion that it was my piston rings and maybe my pistons and I don't know, whole bunch of shit. So I decided to drive it to a homeboy shop and do a compression test. So we do a compression test. This was reading around 130, I think they told me, 75, and like 30 or something like that. Which I guess it means that, you know, my fucking block is pretty much done. So right after that, man, I'm pretty upset. You know, I really don't know what to do. We're trying to look for maybe a new block, maybe a whole new motor. And then Abraham was doing some research and found this beauty, really cheap, from a local guy. Now, what this is also a 2007, but it's a 6-speed, which, in my opinion, it's a win. I get to change the motor to that one, and I get to change the transmission to that one. So what we're gonna do in this channel is try to document as much as we can of the process. What I'm thinking, this is my daily. Y'all know this is my daily. You guys know that I drive this to work. I drive this on the weekends. I go to car meets. So I can't have it down for that much time. I mean, I have the work truck. I could use a work truck, or I could use. We could use I could use my girl's car, but I'd rather not. I'd rather get this up and running as soon as possible. So for now, what we're gonna do is just change the motor from this one to that one. The owner did tell me that third gear grinds, so I'm gonna have this transmission inspected and maybe change whatever needs to be changed. They were telling me synchros. They were telling me that it shouldn't be that much to replace all the synchros and be able to do a little bit more power with that transmission and that motor. This motor is a high mileage motor. I think it's around 200k, but for now I am not gonna abuse this motor. Yes, I'm gonna put the turbo back on, and then what my plan is, after the 6-speed swap is done to this one, I'm gonna rebuild that motor. I'm gonna try to rebuild it as much as I can, as fast as I can, so we could be up there with the big boys. I don't want crazy power because I know I can't handle it. Maybe for now I can't handle it, but sometime in the future. Right now, I wanna break the 400s. I would like to break the 400s with pretty much this setup right here, or no, with pretty much this transmission and that motor sort of kind of built, or reinforced pretty much. Sorry, by the way, it's not the same color. You've noticed by now it's not the same color. Yes, it's the same black TSX that we were working on in the past videos. I don't know if I should upload the past videos where we finished this TSX, because first of all, we really didn't finish documenting everything, all the process, and I honestly don't want to let you guys down on those videos, but I might do something there. I might put the rest 2 videos that are missing into one, and I might explain. I might cut out a frame, and I might explain what we were doing at the time or what had happened at the time. So yeah. So join me